Hello, welcome into my workshop and welcome to the show Creations in Clay. My name is Louis Palladini and I want to do something so we can get into the Halloween spirit. I want to make a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin with a witch's hat. I think this will be a fun little project to do tonight. And it's very simple to make, and you can make it and put it on your shelf, and and when the little kids come by for Halloween, and you can show it off. The types of clay that you can use are an oil-based clay, such as this, which never hardens. I used to use this all the time when I was little, and you can just use it again and again. This one's multicolored, which is good too. You can make all kinds of animals and things with it. I mainly made animals growing up, and then I tried to do some people later, but I always found animals to be more exciting. The other type of clay that you can use is an air-hardening clay, such as this, which hardens in a couple of hours or overnight. What's great about this is you can paint it, and this can be purchased in any type of art store. My preference for the clay is a clay called Super Sculpey, which can be baked in the oven at about 275 degrees. For about 15 or 20 minutes. It becomes hard. You can drill it, sand it, makes a tremendous amount of detail. The size clay balls that we'll be using tonight are, we're going to use this size ball of clay here for the base. And I'll show you how to make that. We're going to use some props here tonight. We're going to use tin foil for the base. And then a couple of other tools that we will be using with these clay balls are, we're going to be using this little sculpting tool, which can be bought in any art store. And we're going to be using a toothpick. I like to use the double-ended one with the two sharp points. And then the next size ball of clay that we're going to be using for the actual pumpkin will be this size right here. And then for the witch's hat, we're going to use this for the rim of the hat. This will be used for the pointy part of the hat. And then I got a little small piece of clay here for the buckle that will go on the hat. So the first step that you want to do is you want to take this clay ball here, the pumpkin, and I like to just roll, we're going to roll it on the table like this. I just kind of want to make it a little rounder, round it out a little better. Smooth it out like that, just kind of go round and round like that. And then what I like to do now is just kind of take your fingers and see how that looks nice and smooth. Just kind of make it all nice and round. We're going to look, and you want to make that round. What I like to do now is I'm going to tap that on the table a little bit. And then I'm going to take this finger here and I'm going to kind of push down on it. I'm going to create this little indentation for the pumpkin. So this is what it will look like. It's nice and rounded now. And see how I made that little indentation in the top? That's where we're going to place the hat. So the next thing that we want to make, I just wanted to get that ready. We want to make the base. So what we'll do is we'll take this clay ball here, and we're going to take and just kind of push down like that. Just work it. Just like that. And then I even like to just pick it up a little bit. See, I'm just kind of working that between my fingers. I'm going to make that nice clay base. Just like this. Just kind of work it like that with your fingers. And we're going to press that down in a minute. Just want to get it to a decent size. So then just kind of, see I'm just pressing that. See I'm kind of creating that base. And you're going to go all the way around like this. Kind of push that in. Just do that. The next thing that we want to do is we want to take our tin foil right here, which can be bought like in the supermarket or a drugstore, and you crinkle it up. And now what you do is you're going to take and just kind of tap this just like this to create that texture. That's going to be like the grass, which we'll end up painting green later. But just kind of take and push down and twist a little bit, just like that. It gives a really cool effect. And I'll pick that up. I want to show you what it's going to look like. See that beautiful texture that was created with the tin foil? And then we're going to paint that green to resemble grass. It's awesome. A very simple technique. We're going to take the pumpkin now, and I'm going to show you how we're going to make lines. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and we're going to take this here, and you see how I'm making the line? We're going to go down like this, go all the way down to the bottom. And then we're going to do another line right here, just like that. And then we're going to proceed to do another one over here, just like that. And then we're going to just continue to make these lines, just like this. And we're going to go almost all the way around the pumpkin. It gives it a really nice effect. It creates those nice lines that are in the pumpkin. You know, when you go to the pumpkin patch, and that's always fun. I like going with my son to you know, there's like Woodsbury Farm or someplace like that, or even Flint Farm, you know, and you can pick pumpkins, and that's always a fun event to do in the fall. So now I usually do this about halfway around. So I'll just show you quickly. We're doing that halfway around. And then there's going to be an area here where we're going to make the face for the jack-o'-lantern. And what I'll show you with this one here, what we're going to try to make is we're going to draw out the eyes, the nose, and the mouth with the toothpick. And then we will carve those out with the sculpting tool. So I'll show you how we'll proceed to do that. I'm going to take this. So then I'm going to look at this right here. And what we want to do is take this right here. And you want to, just want to make sure I'm doing it the right spot. So you kind of just draw, let me see. I didn't get that in the right spot. I'm just gonna fix this. I just want to roughly see where I want to put this. So I'm just going to make a little point in each. I'm going to make little dots to where I want to make the actual eyes. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the mouth here. See how you're going to just go like this. And you make a nice little smiley face. Just like this. And you come down and you just kind of draw that like that. So see that? And then what we're going to proceed to do is we're going to make the eyes. So we're going to go like this. See, I'm drawing it out. That way we can make. And then I'm going to go to this side, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to draw that out. And then we're just like that. See that? And then don't worry if the proportions are a little off. It's just fun doing this. And we're going to proceed. Then you make the nose right there. So there is our jack-o'-lantern. So what we're going to plan to do now is we're going to take our sculpting tool right here. You can see how it has this nice triangular point here. We're going to take and we're going to go like this. So we're going to take this and you can kind of scoop that in like this. See how we're going in? I went in. And then we're going to just kind of pull that out. And then we'll proceed to do the other side. Go down just like that. and then pull out. You might have to fix it a little bit, but I want to look at what I had done. And now we're going to do the nose. I'm going to do that, just like that. And kind of pull that out. And then, for the mouth, we're going to take this and see how we just go in there. We're going to carve that out nicely. And I'll just make sure that, and then I want to come back and make sure that I get a little more along my line there. And then we'll proceed to, I want to make a nice little point there. Let me just fix this a little bit. Get a little more there. I want to carve a little more there. So that's basically what you do, and then I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Now what we want to do is we want to take and create more lines. So now we'll finish up the pumpkin with the lines here, and we're going to come down like this, and then we're going to, just like that. Before I figured, I just wanted to, so you make the line like that. And then we got the lines. I'm trying to make them. So there's your jack-o'-lantern. The next step in the process that we want to do is, you know, if you see the eyes, you can just, I'm just going to just check these a little bit, make sure that there's no debris left from the clay. And now we're going to proceed to make the hat. So now what I want to do is take this, and we're going to take and kind of squeeze this into the base like this. See I'm doing that? And then we're going to take our little sculpting tool, and in order to make sure it's attached to the base, you just kind of work the clay. See, I'm just kind of working the clay. You're going to go all the way around like this to make sure it's attached to the pumpkin so it doesn't fall off. So you just go around, just go around like that. I'll just pick this up and see how we're just pushing the clay up against the pumpkin. I'm going to go all the way around, just like that. And that'll make sure that it won't fall off. The next thing that we want to do is we're going to take this ball of clay here, and we're going to make a round pancake. So take this, squeeze it between your fingers like this. See how I'm doing that? Just squeeze it, make it nice and flat. Just like that. And you'll make that nice, that's the nice rim of the hat. What we're trying to accomplish here is, I'll show you this. See that? That's the piece we're making right now, the rim. We'll proceed to flatten this out some more. Just like that. So now see how it's nice and flat. That's the bottom. That's the top. And what I want to do now is I want to proceed to put this on top like this. See that? Take that and just kind of squeeze it in like that. Then we will proceed to make the rest of the witch's hat. So what we want to do, think of an upside down ice cream cone. We're going to take this, roll it on the table, and you're going to roll back and forth, and you know, kind of push down to one side, because what you're trying to do is create a point. And then what I would do is just take your fingers and create that point. See, I'm creating that point. Just keep working it like that. Mold it with your fingers. So it kind of reminds me of like, see that almost looks like an ice cream cone? That's the easiest way to think of it. And then what we want to proceed to do is I want to take and tap this on the table to flatten it out. So we're going to take that. Oop. Don't worry if it falls. And then you just tap. See how we kind of flatten that out? Now we're going to proceed to take and put this on top of the pumpkin. So I'm going to take that and kind of squeeze that in like that. See that? And don't worry if the top part of this is not perfectly round. You know, it's an old beat up hat, so it gives it some character. So now what I want to do is take my sculpting tool and kind of, to make sure this is attached, kind of push down a little bit like this. Just like that. And we'll work our way around. See, I'm just kind of pushing that clay down like that. Just like that. We go all the way around. So now what I want to do is maybe take my finger and smooth it out a little bit. See that? Just going to go around with your fingers so it doesn't look as rough. And then what we want to do is we're going to take and we want to make the hat kind of flop over to the side. So just kind of pull that down like that. Looks pretty good so far. So the next thing that we want to do is I have this little ball of clay here, and we want to make the belt buckle, and I'll show you what the belt buckle looks like. That's the little ball. See this little belt buckle right here? That's what we want to make with the clay, and I'll show you how to do that. You're going to take, and I'm going to roll this on the table, just like this. Just going to roll it out like that. That's the easiest way to do it. And then what I would do is I'm going to pick it up with my fingers and try to make it a little bit, make it a little bit longer. So then what you want to do is take this now and you almost make like a square. So what I would do is I'm going to take, almost make it round for the time being. See how I kind of put that together? We'll make it we'll make it square. So what we're going to do is we can take and kind of tap that on one side of the table, like that. Tap another side. And then we can tap the other side. And tap it like that. So I'm going to pick this up, I'll show you. And then kind of take and you can square it off with your fingers. See, I'm kind of pinching it. I'm trying to give it more of a square shape. And then another thing that I like to do is take this and go back and forth like that, trying to make it square. Don't worry if it isn't perfect. But see that? So now we're going to take the belt buckle, or the buckle for the hat, and I'll take and put this here, and we'll proceed to put this right here. Just like that. So now, that's what it will look like, the finished product will look like prior to painting. It's a pretty cool little project. We're going to proceed to paint this now. I have some acrylic paints which can be bought in any art store, and we're going to use several colors. We're going to use, I'll show you, we're going to use green for the grass on the base. We're going to use orange for the pumpkin. We're going to use black for the eyes and the mouth. And then we're going to use a tan color for the little buckle that's on the hat. And I'll proceed to put these aside. And then I'll show you which brushes that we want to use. For the base, which is going to be green, we'll use this size brush. It's got a wide head, and that's what we'll use to paint the green grass. In order to do the eyes, we'll use this size brush here. It's a little smaller. And then we'll use this one here. This is a small brush also, and that'll be used for the buckle on the hat. And for the black, we're going to use this size brush here for the witch's hat. Or not, well, it looks like a witch's hat. So we'll proceed to do the base first. I'm going to grab the pumpkin here, the one that we're going to paint, dab it in here, and now I'll show you. I'm going to paint the base just like this. Go back and forth, back and forth. You know, don't worry if you get a little on the pumpkin. You're going to go all the way around the base like that, in that manner. Just keep going back and forth, back and forth. And you're just going to do the witch's hat like this. Go back and forth, back and forth. You're going to go all the way around. I'm just going to put that down so we can, you're going to paint the top part of the hat like that. See that? You're going to paint all the way around, just like that. And then we're going to proceed to paint the witch's hat black up there. See how we're just going back and forth, back and forth. So what we're going to do, I'll show you how to do the mouth. See the mouth here? We're going to do the mouth, paint that black, go back and forth like that, just like that. And that's, see that? And then we'll proceed to do the eyes. So I'm going to put that in there, back and forth. And then we're going to do the nose. I'm going to dab it in there. And then we'll do the other eye. I'm going to dab it in like that. You know, and if this paint gets a little smudged, don't worry about it, because you can touch it up once you get the, with the orange paint, you can paint over that. You might want to wait to let this dry before you put the orange on, but I'm going to show you how to put the orange on right now. Now we can take, see the pumpkin? You can go back and forth with the brush. Just like that. Back and forth. And we're going to do the entire pumpkin in that manner. Just like that. And then when you're doing around here, just be careful that you don't do anything to the eyes. So I just kind of go around there very carefully. And we do the nose the same way. Just like that. And go around the other eye like that. Just like that. And then just kind of work your way around. And you see how it's really coming together nicely. You're going to paint the entire pumpkin in that manner. The next thing that we want to paint is the little buckle. So I'll use the same brush here, and we'll paint the buckle. Take that, dab that, and we're going to pick this up, and now you paint the buckle, just like that. Go all the way around. Make sure I get all the sides, just like that. And there's a little buckle. I'll show you what the final product will look like. Here it is right here. And this is your jack-o'-lantern. See how you get the nice black mouth, black eyes, nose. You get the green for the base, all the way around. Now you get the orange pumpkin. See how I painted the entire pumpkin orange? And then you get the nice black witch's hat, and that nice little buckle. So it's a pretty cool project to do for Halloween. And I do hope that you enjoyed coming to Creations in Clay tonight, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. And just want to say goodbye for now. Thanks. Hi kids, how would you like to win some professional modeling clay like the one that I used in the show? Please send pictures of your creations in clay and we will enter them into a drawing. You can send by mail or email, and I can't wait to see what you've been up to.